Okay, so I've already shuffled your cards because, I'm a man on the go, dashing, dancing, prancing, okay, and glancing on the train. Okay, see, I don't have that much time. I'd be bringing into like a greater level of understanding for related sign. So you might be dealing with relationships, you might be dealing with beauty, you might be dealing with communications within relationships. You're trying to find the beauty in some of your relationships again. You're trying to find the balance within your relationships, all different types of relationships you may have. You might be coming towards people with a sense of warmth, right? It's kind of like a velvety feeling here. You have a Vishla, or it could be a pharaoh hound. Okay, sorry, there's a glance now. All right, I'm using the magical but this is justice. So you're going to be dealing with a vision of fairness, and you're also going to be dealing with circumstances of weighing things out and trying to see what the best outcome might be for two people, or it might be an arrangement, or you might just be trying to balance your time, because Saturn is actually exalted in Libra, and this has to do with balancing out time and time that it takes for things, and maybe considering something over a period or an amount of time. Okay? And it's also cardinal, so it's talking about leadership as well. Let me go ahead and lay the cards out. What I've been doing is I've been doing the cause and effect for everyone. And now I'm just going to do that for you as well. I've got about 20 minutes to read these cards, and I think I can do it. I've kind of been doing that lately. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to give everybody an hour reading or an hour 10, hour 15 reading, but it started with Pisces, and there it went. So now, we talked about the bottom of the deck. What's going on for you guys in the center of the reading? Moon and Libra. Didn't I talk about that? It's the Two of Swords right here in the reading. Okay? Moon and Libra energy. It's talking about making a choice, understanding that a choice has to be made, or there's going to be a decision that's going to be made that's going to affect you in some kind of way, because it's talking about an action and a reaction, a call and a response, an understanding, and then there's also a sort of like sentimentality that goes along with this decision and this understanding. It's an evolution, and it's almost coming to the end of a small stage that's completing itself, because this is 2, and we're hoping to get to the 3. Like I said, Saturn is exalted in Libra, and you got the Justice card at the bottom of the deck, which rules Libra, and then you got the 2 of Sky, which is Moon in Libra, which this is the the first decan of Libra, which is where the full moon will be happening at 0, and then there's going to be other. We have to have opposition in order for us to have balance, and we have to have 2 different understandings for us to come to the best understanding, right? So that's what we're dealing with when we talk about this Libra full moon that's coming up. The it's so funny because I actually haven't even really looked at the cards. I'm just reading now. So the card that crosses you as for your immediate influence, Gemini, or people who have Mercury in Gemini, okay, or maybe your sun is in your 3rd house, okay. This could be for you as well, or sun in 6th house. Um, the 3 of Sky you got as your immediate influence, and this is Saturn in Libra. I was just talking about Saturn and how it's related to Libra. So this is an understanding that you're coming to realize. It's coming into form right in front of your eyes, and you can't deny something, right? It's almost like when you pick up the phone and it's the other woman or the other man or the person that you didn't want to hear from or the person you haven't heard from and is on the other line, and there's silence and you hang up. Now you know that there's a new reality that you just can't deny, right? And this isn't a bad thing. This is also, Saturn teaching you a lesson about relationships and how to evolve from your relationships, because this is the full moon in Libra that's coming up, right? It's talking about the evolution in relationships. It's 2 of Swords. It's 3 of Sky. So that's talking about 5. That's kind of giving like Venus and Aquarius energy. The ruling planet of Libra is Venus. Venus is in Aquarius right now. Aquarius rules that 5 of Swords energy along with Venus. So we do have that energy coming on that's kind of like echoing here. And that's kind of like dealing with what house is that from you, Gemini? Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius. It's your 9th house, okay? And that's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is in Sagittarius right now. So you're having to adapt to certain changes. And that opposes you, Gemini, right? So that's in your house of relationships as well. So we got some stuff going on here with Libra, and we got some stuff going on with Venus, right? Your ruling planet is actually exalted in the house that Venus is in right now, which is giving us that Five of Swords energy. But then you also have the Three of Swords here over that Two of Swords that is creating that. But the Three of Swords is talking about learning from your relationships, right? Being able to balance out certain things within the relationships that you have, right? Making decisions, making those choices about your relationships. I either will or I won't anymore. You know what I mean? It's that type of thing. I understand it for this, I understand it for that. Or I'm loving that it's going to be this new understanding here. Because it really is talking about trying to change things, right? Libra is a cardinal sign, but there's kind of like those moments of mutableness or mutability that come with like trying to weigh something out because it's constantly changing. You're on the fence, right? So you kind of can like deal with that energy. Anyway, let's work with what we got at the bottom of the reading. Another swords card for you, Gemini, and it's yours. It's Sun in Gemini, right? Focus, bam. It's what you can see. It's what you understand. What you're perceiving. What's coming into you. What's being communicated, and what's being understood. It's like you're going through like chronological order, right? That type of thing. And it's just kind of like an ending to something. It's like the ruin of something. It's the Ten of Sky. So you have this wolf dog here, which is kind of like a what is this? This is like a an Alaskan Malamute or something like that. You know what I mean? And you know he's broken. You know there's something right. Yeah, he's been sort of attacked. Not even dead. Yeah, he's still fighting, right? But he will definitely be giving right because he's been hit way too many times. Some of the ones have actually missed him, but some have actually gotten him. Some have gone through, and some are actually still in him. Okay? So these are just like some old wounds that need to be healed. These are some things that probably need to be cleared out of your just energy. You know what I mean? Because Gemini is a very like anxious sign. Mercury is talking about, you know, like the nervous system and things like that, right? Your circuit board, that type of energy. So we need to clear that out. We need to clear the mind out. We need a new mental recalibration. All of your cards are air right now. This is your energy. This is what's going on with you because of this Mercury retrograde. But that's what you know, right? Because this is at the foundation of your reading. This is kind of like what you know, secret to you. That's why you have the Three of Sky on top of the Two of Sky, right? Which is creating that energy of Venus in Aquarius. Mercury is retrograde right now, right? Ruling planet, trying to deal with understanding what it is to change things, what it is to keep some things, what it is to start to work with what we have now, what it is to initiate new things, what it is to understand how new phases have begun in your relationships, that type of thing, and making the realization of that, right? It is the realization of that, because at the top of the reading, what you're moving towards that you don't know yet, which is kind of like the future card, you have the Four of Sky. That's Jupiter in, am I still going? Okay. That's Jupiter in Libra. And Jupiter in Libra is talking about you have an expanded sense of your relationships now, right? You've kind of taken a break. You have definitely formed a opinion, right? And an understanding. Like I said, it's like you're forming this understanding and then you have to form that opinion, right? Because Jupiter is also like the philosopher. So it's like you're understanding your relationship in a new way. So it's kind of like you're appreciating it in a new way and you're understanding that things do change because like I was saying before, you're dealing with the kind of like undertone of mutable energy. Definitely, because you're a mutable sign, not undertone, definite. And you're dealing with like that Mercury retrograde, Jupiter being in your house of relationships, this being Jupiter in the house of relationships, which is Libra. I literally did I shuffled these cards and I laid them out, and I never expected there to be this many air placements or cards, and I never expected there to be all the Libra cards in the first, second, and third decan of Libra with your cards, Sun and Gemini, at the bottom of your reading, okay? So you guys are falling back from something. You're taking a break from something. You're starting to realize that you have to reset your focus on something like building wise, right? Because it's the Fourth Sky and it's related to the Emperor energy. I know that I'm frozen here, but I'm gonna keep going because I really like what is going on in this reading, and I really don't have time to stop. I only have like 10 more minutes, okay? So you're dealing with relationship stuff. things have expanded. We're going to have a retrograde with Jupiter in your house of relationships, I believe in April. I'll get you that exact date in some type of update video. Um, and this full moon is in your house of your fifth house, I believe, right? Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, yeah, and the full moon is in your fifth house, which has something to do with ego. It has something to do with pride. It has something to do with like your passions and just kind of like passionate feelings that you might have with the people in your life, such as friends or even family members. Okay, those are relationships for you as well. Even lovers, right? Because Justice, Libra, love, the goddess of love. So now we're dealing with the Seven of Sky, another Swords card, which is, this is Moon in Aquarius. There's that Aquarius energy again, energy. This is just you kind of like trying to realize where you may have missed the mark in terms of like focusing in on something or having a realization of something that something needs to change, right? Because this is kind of like a commitment and making a decision based on a commitment, or a decision is being made that is in regard to a commitment and something that has to do with the way that things may have always been, that they may not be anymore, or you may have a different understanding of the way that things might be moving forward. And this is seven again, so it's related to the seventh house, which is Libra, but then it's also related to the seventh sign, which is also Libra, but then it's also related to the seventh month, which is July, which is Cancer season, and Cancer rules the sevens, the Chariot, which is number seven major arcana. So you're dealing with some energies of confidence, right? You may not feel confidence in something. Someone may not be confident in something. Somebody might want to move forward, so there's some communication that has to take place in terms of relationship and making a decision based on a commitment, right? The way things have been, because status quo energy is fixed sign energy. This is Aquarius, but we're also talking about, I won't even go there with that Taurus energy. But as a result of that, it's the Six of Fire, which is actually a good thing that's coming from these talks, that's coming from this new understanding, that's coming from this newfound sense of confidence moving forward after the clarity moment, right? And the decision has been made, the new boundaries are set, that type of thing. The sixes are talking about mercurial energy as well. Eros energy, Eros and Psyche. You know what I mean? It's almost like someone is coming to someone's rescue, or someone feels like they're coming to someone's rescue, maybe for some of you, but this could just be like bringing relief to a situation, right? That might have to do with the vitality or the livelihood of something, or the principle of something, because Mercury does also deal with the principle of things. But this is Jupiter again in Leo, okay? So some of you might be dealing with a Leo. Some of you might, be a Leo that's cross-watching this video, that type of thing. This is definitely it being a better turnout than it seems like it would be once this like Seven of Swords energy plays itself out. So let me go into the Earth Alpha female energy. Hold on, let me try to get this video to stop doing what it's doing. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it. Anyway, so in your water placement here, I just read the air placement, which is going talking about communications and what you're thinking, what your perception of things might be, that type of thing, what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your head, what you're saying to people, what you're not saying to people too, right? Um, Earth Alpha female, right? So this is talking about Queen of Pentacles. The Queens are cardinal, and this is Capricorn energy. So Saturn and Pluto are and Capricorn is what? Is that your 10th house? No. Sagittarius would be your 10th house. Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius. Capricorn is your 8th house. So that has to deal with some transformative energy that it has to do with somebody else here too as well. I mean, it could be Taurus, yeah, and then it could also be Virgo, right, which is a fellow mercurial rule sign. So it might have to even do routine for you. Or just a way that you have always done things, might be changing in the home and the family, right? That type of thing. The way that you may have always done something that might have been in terms of like business as well, definitely, because this is Earth, alpha female, right? Queen of Pentacles. You might be disappointed in something because, something, maybe you need money, maybe you need to, maybe you actually are you're trying to ask someone to borrow money from the family. Probably you might be asking someone from the family, a female, to borrow some money, or you might be being asked for some money if you're a Gemini, other Gemini, out there. You might be getting asked that, or you're just thinking about money, you know what I mean? And it's like the home life is something that you're also focused on because you have the Ace of Sky here. You need more money for the, just like the home to sort of function better, that type of thing. I'm getting that some of you guys actually need money to improve your home. You're thinking about home improvements. You're thinking about just kind of upgrading things as well. You know what I mean? That type of thing. You're working, you're saving money. Some of you are actually going out there and trying to, start communications going. There might be even some new truths about some things in terms of like how you earn your money. You know what I mean? You might be getting more information, bam, about a job. Maybe you'll be working with people or working from home, that type of thing. Maybe you'll be able to work from home with this new focus. In this new job that you might be dealing with. You guys also might just be starting a conversation with a person who might be a business owner, that type of thing. Because the water placement really does have to do with how you support something. You're a part of a support system, definitely being the alpha earth female here at the bottom of the reading. And then it's just talking about, what are your concepts? What is your knowledge? What is your understanding of things, right? What is your understanding of where you need to value something that's trying to bring the scope into focus for you, right? Because the Ace of Sky is talking about clarity of the mind, right? And the clarity of the mind is going to actually, have something to do with how you feel about yourself, probably, right? Because there might be some, some things that you might be dealing with on your own right now that have to do with like material needs getting met, or just people being there for you. Maybe not even feeling like anyone is there. You might be feeling isolated, right? Definitely. And you might be feeling like you want to initiate something. You might even feel isolated because you're isolated, stuck at home, and you don't have anybody to talk to. Or you might be feeling like you're isolated at work, right? Some of you, and you don't have anyone to talk to at work. I don't know why I'm saying that. Okay. So let's move on to the Earth placement in your reading. We're almost done too. So the Earth placement, you got the Lover's card and you got the Five of Earth. So there's Mercury again. Okay. Eros, that's the Lover's card here. It's like Eros and Psyche, right? So this is kind of like two people that are actually in the same like confines with each other, or this could be somebody meeting someone at work, and it may not be turning out, the way that you wanted it to be. um Also, this is talking about just like, being focused on, your work and how you're going to be able to be consistent within that, or how you're going to go out there and, just kind of really own who you want to be within your industry, within your profession, Gemini. You have had some issues of like feeling like all you ever did was think about things getting better, and maybe someone came along and that's improving things, but it's almost like you want to make sure that you have everything set in place for you, and even your family, because the Lover's card can't even talk about like a familial unit of people. You know what I mean? Mom, dad, son, daughter, dog, cat, bird, grandma. Okay, this is a support system. You have a partner probably, or a mate, or you might have a friend that is really supporting you, trying to get you motivated to be in that sixth house energy, right? Six, the Lovers, Virgo energy, Mercury. We just had that Virgo full moon, which is talking about routine. It's talking about work. It's talking about earnings. It's talking about service, that type of thing. So you're trying to get past this sense of just kind of like the job um, scenario not really working out for you, but it seems like it's going to be getting better. You know what I mean? It's like we just got to let this energy pass of like Mercury retrograde, definitely for you. because there's going to be some things that you might find that might be a little bit clear to you once that happens. And let's move up to the top of this reading before we end. The top of the reading is the Ten of C, which is the Ten of Cups. You might be experiencing a new identity in terms of like some way a wish that you may have had that has come true, or you might just be feeling like things are actually going quite well, right? Things are going quite well. You might be having to sacrifice something that you might be feeling vulnerable to emotionally. You might be also just dealing with a need to break away and just experience, just kind of like your own reality, get away from like the reality of life and just kind of go into like a dreamscape. Pay attention to your dreams as well. Your dreams might reveal something to you that might shock you. Also, because you have the tower here next to the Mars in Pisces card in your fire placement. So there's energy here, there's passion here, and there's heartfelt energy. The tower is saying that something is going to come in and the universe is going to destroy something for you, and it's going to allow you to rebuild something. The Ten of C, that is Mars in Pisces. This is kind of like an expansion of a feeling, right? You can't deny the existence of this feeling. Okay, and then by not being able to allow to deny the existence of this feeling, then bam, something has to happen that's going to change. It's Mars as well, and Mars is in Taurus right now, so it's changing the status quo for you, in a sense, Gemini, and that's really great, because we do need some things to kind of like change, and Mercury is in a mutable sign right now, and that is Pisces. um, we just have to realize that all of our feelings are not actually real all the time, right? Especially in a Mercury retrograde in Pisces. But I think we're all handling it pretty well. Okay? All right. Thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Follow me on Instagram at NYC Kendrick, at Kendrick NYC. I'm also at Providence Tarot, of course. And then I have a food account at the Tongue Pop. If you want to get a reading from me on Sundays, you can come to Shanti Bookshop and Crystal Gallery. It's at 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues in New York City, near Union Square, near NYU, near the East Village area. If you go there this weekend on Saturday, you will see Cardzi be there doing a signing on her Badass Bitches tarot deck, which I use and I read from, and I'll read from again actually soon. Go see her. She's really cool. She's a friend of mine. If you don't listen to her podcast, listen to her podcast. I did her podcast once. I think I'm episode 12 maybe, or episode 11. I said I was episode 13, but it's somewhere in there. Yeah, go support her. Go meet her. She also has a lot of other different products that are related to her Badass Bitches Tarot deck. So go see her, you know. Um, also follow Moon Talk Radio. That's Dale and his boyfriend Diego. They're doing some moon pulls for everyone weekly. They do it live. Yes, I'm going to get going. Hope to talk to you guys soon. Have a good retrograde.